Tarkov is a cruel mistress. No matter how many hours you put into the game, there are always moments which get to you, whether that be due to netcode or lag, or just yourself not performing as well in situations as you could do. After 3 years of playing, I still get moments like this, where you just want to hit that big uninstall button and cry over a big tub of Ben & Jerry's, but after you calm down, there's always something that keeps me coming back. And I'm always happy that I do. Today's video is about just that. How do I stay motivated after a rough day in Tarkov, and what sort of things should make you get back up on your feet and keep playing? Firstly, remind yourself that one good raid can overwrite 5 bad ones. Combat in EFT is something special. Killing someone with a weapon with the equivalent firepower of your obese neighbour's farts makes you feel a special kind of way, especially if that person is in full gear. And that's because the ballistics is so in depth. Whether you're a slow-paced player that likes sneaking behind enemies or a fast-paced player that prefers getting up in someone's face before they have a chance to react, killing 1 or 2 players definitely gets the adrenaline rushing through you. Tarkov is so unique that you shouldn't feel bad about killing 1 or 2 people per raid, because even the AI SCAVs can be proven challenging. So no matter what, feel proud that you get out of raid, no matter how little action you put yourself in. And that's if you can get out of raid at all. People die a lot in Escape from Tarkov. So remember that your luck will eventually change if you do keep dying, and only practice will make you better. Tarkov is extremely hard to master, but kind of easy to understand. You have to understand that going in with the best gear will not make you invincible. You're still able to die easily depending on who's shooting you and with what. From my experience, it's best to go in with a budget loadout for the chances to make an easier profit. Even though you may die slightly quicker, you're the one making a profit if you're covering the cost of your loadout. So if your loadout's cheaper, then it's simply easier to make a profit. And then when you're making profit, you're feeling good about yourself, and that'll keep you coming back. Since Tarkov is basically ruled by money, if you have a lot of it you're doing well, and if you're poor, basically the stigma is you're doing bad. So remember that SCAV raids are always free money, so use them when you can. There's nothing stopping you from loading in as a SCAV, heading straight to extract and selling all the stuff that was on your SCAV to make some money if you're low. You could also always use SCAV raids to gain in-raid experience and put yourself in situations that you wouldn't usually get into with your PMC. And you can also practice combat or gain experience in a map that you aren't familiar with. You can never improve and get to a point where you feel like you're performing well in most raids without practice. Sometimes SCAVs are the best form of practice for getting live raid experience without the risk of losing your own gear that you spent money on. Combining SCAV raids with offline raids will honestly give you a different outlook on the game as a whole. You will play with more confidence knowing you're not losing anything that you worked for, and eventually that will transfer over to your PMC runs as well. Having someone to motivate you is always a good idea also. Even if you prefer to play solo, hearing other people talk about their raids that they have and the loot that they can get can give you the motivation to say, I can do that too. Joining Tarkov community discords are a good way to hear other people's stories. For example, in my Discord I have a text channel called Loot Show Off. This allows people to post pictures of their loot after a successful raid. Forming conversations with people in the community seem to help me and give me a competitive feeling, saying that I can do better at starting off, and I think it can help you guys too. But the competitiveness is always in a positive way. You're never trying to outplay someone, so people never have an issue with answering questions like what map do you play on the most, or how did you approach those people and get that gear. Tarkov's community is extremely friendly, so finding people is not hard at all. Finding a friendly community, even if you're not a solo player, is not hard at all. You can go into a random community Discord, albeit mine or other people's, and you can find a team to play with pretty easily. And they can also help you improve, because if you've got a team by your side and they want to play, more likely you'll get up and go, alright then, I'll have another go at it. If it's possible, record your games, both the good and the bad, and then each week go back and look at your raids, go over all the mistakes you've made and the highlights you've had, and see if you can see a difference between the start of the week and the end of the week. Being able to visibly see progression and learning from your mistakes is the best way to see that you do get better with practice. Sometimes people saying practice makes perfect just isn't enough, and you need a visual representation of your improvements to actually believe it. Albeit it might be slight, but you can see different skills that you've learned over a couple of days. So if you do that week after week, you're going to start seeing gradual improvements, and it'll make you feel better. If it was me, I'd turn on the video highlights, as it's the easiest way of capturing your in-raid highlights and seeing what you can do to improve. But if you don't have it, then just record it with any screen recording software. A little fun fact, I started making YouTube videos to help people, however I also used it for a way to document how I played. and looking back at my earlier videos to now, you can see a very noticeable difference in my gameplay. Storing clips on your raids somewhere like YouTube is a great way to watch your footage back, and even sharing the link around will give you some valuable feedback on how to improve. But even if you don't want to do that, just watching your raid back and then deleting them after to learn from your mistakes is a great way to learn, and once you see a difference in the way you play, it will keep you coming back. Even after 3 years, I sometimes get mad and upset about losing gear. It's never due to dying normally or just getting outplayed. That happens, and in which case I'm fine with it. It's the desync and the hit registry that can frustrate me from time to time, and it can actually make me just stop playing for the night and I'm like, that's it, I'm done, otherwise I'm gonna get really fucking frustrated. But looking back at what the game was compared to how it is now, it's night and day difference. And it calms me down to no end, because you can see so many improvements. People complain about this game now, it's still in development, and it's been in development for a while, yes, I know, but this is a very ambitious project and they have made leaps and bounds with changes and improvements. Some people may not know that because they haven't been there from the start of EFT. I have, and I've seen the difference. It will get there, it's still in beta. Keeping that in your head will keep you also coming back. It kept me coming back because I'm like, okay, let's see the improvements. There was times earlier on in the earlier updates where I wasn't making YouTube videos, but I was playing this game and I would stop for half a patch because I was getting frustrated. But now I'm like, okay, tomorrow will be different. Rather than, okay, I'll wait till next patch and see what they've changed. I'm now thinking tomorrow will be different because everything acts differently from day to day because it's not too stable just yet. And that doesn't bother me. I'm not worried about it being too stable, I'm worried about having fun, and that is the main thing. Have fun with Tarkov. Don't worry about it being a bit broken from time to time, that happens with game development. But I have fun, and that's what keeps me coming back, the fun aspect. And not to mention the game currently wipes anyway, so crying and getting mad over pixels is pretty pointless, albeit necessary at some points to vent. However, Tarkov is the only game I have ever played that can make me feel super happy in one raid and killing loads of people, and then 10 minutes later I could be dying consistently. And this can be frustrating, but it shows that you really are trying in the game, which is supposed to be a challenge by the way. You're not playing Call of Duty where if you don't go on a massive killing spree or get a high KD, then you're bad at the game. If it was me, I'd completely ignore your overall section. Your wins and losses, your survival rate and your KD have nothing to do with how good of a player you are. I say if you've got a 20% survival rate or higher, you're doing a good job. But even if it's lower than that, you're still trying, and I've already said you can't improve without practice. So, when you're having a bad day, I would spend the next day running scavs and offline raids for practice, and then try again, and rinse and repeat until you feel like you're getting more confident. Confidence wins in Tarkov. Don't second guess yourself all the time, and over time, you will get better. As a general consensus, this game motivates people when you're living and you're making money, and demotivates people if you're dying. It's not due to it being repetitive, because there are vast amounts of situations you can find yourself being in, but dying is also a way of improving. So you do really need to grind out that cycle until you can feel an improvement, and then you'll find yourself starting to become an addict like me. If you have any suggestions on what keeps you motivated in Tarkov, then please, the comments are always open for you guys to continue to help the community. And if you enjoyed this video, then a like is always appreciated, and subscribe to continue the growth of this channel. In the description there are links to my social media as well as my Discord. Here you can love my community more and check out the loot show off, as well as find new people to talk to as mentioned earlier. Anyway guys, I love you, thank you for watching this video to the end. You're beautiful, you're sexy, I'm so happy I met you. Let's get married. I'd like to thank you all for staying to the end of this video, but before I end it, I want to tell you something about Shadow. Shadow is a company I'm working with to promote max gaming PC settings anywhere you are. Shadow is a cloud-based subscription service, and currently in Europe they're offering the ability to pre-order one of their free new tiers of membership, starting at only £12.99. Or if you live in the US, then Shadow continues to offer their regular subscription service for $30 a month. You can play any games, max settings, anywhere you are. If you have a broken down PC, a shitty laptop, or even a Mac, you can still play games like Tarkov in max settings, 1440p 60 FPS. And this is actually how I record all my gameplay and stream Tarkov at this point in time. So if you liked how the video looked in this video, then check out the link in the description and it will take you to Shadow's website. You could do more research there, and if you do decide to sign up using the code Samosh, then you will get a discount on your first month. Thank you everyone for watching, toodle pip cheerio, and enjoy your evening lads.